Yo, what's good? Listen, man, family. Welcome back to another episode. Listen, there's very few topics that just get me really excited, like the topics we're going to talk about today on today's show. I hope it's just inspirational to you. I know it's been inspirational to me. And so just looking forward to this precursor to Women's Wednesday. I figured today would be a perfect day to highlight some of the wonderful things that women are doing in sports, but ultimately how the sports and life are connected. So this episode, I think, is going to be inspiring. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be encouraging. So I hope that you stick around and you watch the show. We have two young ladies that set a beautiful example, and I think you're just going to enjoy hearing their stories, their journey, and then seeing how we can apply what they've done in our lives, no matter what age we are. So listen, this is going to be the precursor to Women's Wednesday. So, like always, make sure that you hit the thumbs up, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you follow. And as I always say, man, share. Please share. Even if you don't like the person, if they like sports, this is the place to be. So let's make the fans' voice the loudest voice that's out there. And I can only do that with your help. So thank you for your continued support. Let's go. All right, listen, man, family. Here we go. New episode. It's a beautiful Monday. Sun is out. Spring has sprung officially. I know because my car is typically black, but it looks yellow because of all of the pollen that's everywhere. So we're in the spring. It means the weather is getting warm. It also means sports. Sports. We're winding down on the NCAA tournament. And out of this is beautiful because we get some great stories. So I really wanted to do a precursor or kind of like a prelude to our Women's Wednesday. So we're going to make today, Monday, an honorary Women's Wednesday special day. And we're going to talk about two people. We're going to talk about Aaliyah Gayles at USC, and then we're going to talk about Alissa Pili. She's out at Utah. Their stories are so phenomenal that I just thought about them over and over again this weekend. Like, man, we got to talk about them because to me, they just set a great example of what perseverance is. They set a great example of what determination is, and really some great principles for all of us as to how sports and life come together. And as I mentioned, this is what this show is all about. It's looking at sports from a fan's perspective, but also looking at stories about sports in ways that we may not see or hear about. So today it's all about the ladies. Let's give the ladies their love. Let's give them their flowers, as they say right now. So today's show, we're going to do that. I'm your host, Kevin, aka Kevy Kev, aka Big Kev, or as I always say, aka you can call me whatever you want to as long as it sounds cool and it starts with a K. So let's get right into it. Today's episode, Women's Wednesday on a Monday. Let's make it happen. So as we kind of get into the NCAA tournament, USC is making a deep run, and as I told y'all on the March Madness episode, Juju is definitely one of my favorite players in the country. She just has a game that just reminds me so much of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan to some degree, even a little Kawhi Leonard in there with the mid range. But something else came out of the USC camp that I felt was so powerful, and that was Aaliyah Gayles. A short story about her life. Here she is a McDonald's All-American. She was at Jordan camp. And then sadly, a little over a year or so ago, she was at a party and ended up getting shot 9 times. They found 18 bullet holes throughout her body. That's how much it devastated her bones. Almost every bone was affected by this shooting. Fortunately, she did live. Sad to say that these things happen when our young ones go off to college. And as a parent, man, it does make you a little bit nervous. But the story really is about her journey back because within a couple of months, she literally had to learn how to brush her teeth again. She had to learn how to stand, how to walk. She had to learn the basics of life. She had to learn all over again. Now, what's interesting about this story to me as to why we're talking about it is her drive was a few things. Her drive was, of course, the love of basketball. And again, as someone that played basketball, man, there's nothing like basketball. It's the best sport in the world to me. And obviously she felt the same way, and that was her driving force, was to eventually get back on the court at some level at USC. So her drive was that, and it motivated her to keep pushing, to keep striving. And if you get a chance to look it up and look up the story and see some of those videos of all of the work that she had to put in just to get back to walking, just to strengthen a finger or her hand, it showed the determination that she had. Now, no doubt she could have tapped out. She could have mentally said, I'm done with this. I just need to try to eke out a quality way of life. And I'm done. But she didn't. She said mentally she would not allow what she went through to block her from reaching her goal. And that was just so inspiring to me, because to see her step foot on the court and be involved in this year's NCAA tournament, she reached her goal. We could even say she went beyond her goal, right? Like, forget the stats, because, even though she played, we're not going to look at her stats, because the fact that she actually was able to step foot on the court and actually play, that's the victory right there. Those are the best stats that you can have in her case. And in life, man, a victory over something like this, there's nothing better. What else can you ask for? To reach a goal and then to be able to exceed it. And now your team is winning and you have a chance to participate and feel like you're assisting your team. No better feeling in the world. But man, what a beautiful story to see her resilience. To see, and shout out really to USC for sticking with her, because you know how some of these programs are, man, you get hurt and they're ready to drop you and you have to enter the transfer portal or go somewhere else because they got somebody else in the ranks. Here she was shot 9 times. They had no idea how long it was going to take or if she was even going to see the court again. But they stuck with her. So she redshirted. So they could have easily said, look, you've never even played one game with us. We don't know what we're losing. We don't know what we're gaining. So we're going to let you explore other options out there. They didn't do that. They still kept her on the team. Her teammates embraced her, and that was another driving factor of her getting back on the court. So having a great support system with her family, also that friendship of teammates that surrounded her and kept her motivated, the support of a coach who could have easily went in another direction. Man, it's just a beautiful story all the way around to see how people can really be there for you when you go through things. So the question that raised in my mind, for me and also for you fans, is do you have those people in your life? Do I have those people in my life that when I'm really going through something, maybe I haven't been shot, but maybe I'm going through something physically, maybe I'm going through something emotionally or mentally. Do I have those people in my corner that are going to keep me motivated? They're going to help me reach my goal. Now, I have to say, I do. I've got a great core of people. I've got guys that I've been rocking with for, man, over 25 years or more. And no matter what, they keep me in line if they feel like I'm stepping out. They keep me motivated. They keep me going. We laugh, we joke. Sometimes we debate. Sometimes we argue. But at the end of the day, we're there to support each other. No matter what, we're going to be there for each other. And that's a motivating factor. When we go through it together. And that's what she had. So ask yourself, when you have a goal in life, no matter what that goal is, this is a great example. Aaliyah is a beautiful example of not letting anything or anyone stop you from trying your best to reach that goal. So for you young ladies out there, listen, we know what the world does around us, right? They try to put limits and shackles on you. They try to say what you can't do. This is a great story showing you that if you set a goal and you're willing to work hard at it, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to have a great support system around you, great friends that are going to support you no matter what, you'll be able to reach those goals. No question you will. Man, just a beautiful story all the way around. So don't let anything stop you from reaching the goals that you have. And make sure you have great friends. So that means you have to be a great friend yourself in order to have great friends. So keep that story in mind. Check it out. It's a beautiful story to see her journey, but it's also sobering to see all of the work that she had to just to get to where she is now. So you know what? Man, hats off. A lot of praise to Aaliyah. I hope the best for you. Hope the best for you and your family. We'll see what happens tonight as you guys play to get into the Final Four. But I just thought that this story was so inspiring that it would be a great way to kick off our Women's Wednesday on a Monday. Now, our second story, now this one, it kind of resonates with me. It really and really truly does. Alissa Pili. Now here, Alissa Pili, man, her story is so incredible because she's Samoan and indigenous, but lives in Alaska, a little small town. They said they had about 4,000 people in their town, and it was a very, very close community before her family ended up moving to Anchorage, Alaska. So just imagine moving from where most of your family is at to now a bigger city where you really don't know anybody, and you're very, very family oriented. On top of it, think about this. Think about this aspect. For 67 days, 67 days there, they see complete darkness. And then they experience 9 months of winter. Just imagine that. 67 days of complete darkness and 9 months of extreme winter. What would you be doing as a young person if you experienced that? It's just dark. Would you find yourself playing the PlayStation more? Would you find yourself on your phone, on social media more? What would you find yourself doing? Man, Alissa, she was a trooper. She said that that motivated her to go where it was light, and that was a gym. So she spent majority of her time in the gym working on her craft, which was basketball. But here's what's really inspiring about her. Like most of us in high school, we didn't just play one sport, we played a little bit of everything. But she excelled at so much. She played football up until middle school. Then she was on the wrestling team, the shot put team. Overall, she has 13 state championships in various sports. Think about that. So when you start talking about not putting limits on yourself despite the circumstances around you, Alissa did that. She said it doesn't matter that it's 9 months of winter time. I'm still going to perform at a high level. I'm going to give my best. It doesn't matter that I'm away from my family. It doesn't matter what circumstances I face. And when you read the story, you'll see even some of the losses that she had to deal with that were shocking and hard for her, but she pushed through it. She persevered. She showed dedication to her craft. And what ends up happening? She ends up getting a scholarship to USC and then enters the transfer portal this last year and ends up at Utah. Now, the reason why this story to me is so encouraging is because one, if you've ever been to Utah, like there's not a lot out there to do. And the Utah women's basketball team has never really made a whole lot of noise. But here she gets there and they play South Carolina, the Juggernauts. She ends up with 37 points to the point where even Don Staley gave her high praise for the type of player that she was. And then that has carried her into the NCAA tournament. Sadly, they lost. But her story just is so compelling to me because what she didn't realize while she was doing all of this work, while she was just grinding, while she just was putting in her work and putting her ethics to work, she didn't realize that people were watching. Those people in Alaska, the Samoan and indigenous community, they were watching her. They were watching her succeed. They were watching her dedication. And so now when she goes somewhere, she ends up with these large crowds of Samoan based or indigenous based fans that literally bring her gifts and bring her things from their culture. It's just beautiful to see how she has impacted the Samoan community, the indigenous community, and young ladies everywhere to see that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter the circumstances surrounding you. If you work hard, if you're really dedicated to what you want to do and you don't limit yourself, you can make some amazing things happen in your life. And to me, that's so, so powerful. Having a daughter of my own, those are the things that I want her to understand that no matter what goal she has, don't limit yourself. Strive to be the best version of yourself that you can be because you never know where that may take you in life. And for each person, that goal is going to be different. Some it may be sports, some it may be secular in some field of work. For others, it may be within their community. Others, it just may be personal goals that they have to work on their personality, the person that they are. Whatever the goal is, man, she sets a great, great example of what it means to have true dedication. But here's the key, people. Here's the key, fam. She did not realize who was watching. People were watching her. So for us, whether adults, whether teens, young ladies out there, remember the work that you do, the things that you do, you never know who's watching you. You never know who might be impacted by what you're doing. Your work ethic, the way that you go about handling your business, whether it's school, whether it's work, no matter what it is that you're doing, it's going to affect somebody. So the question for all of us is, am I affecting people positively or am I affecting people negatively? Well, Alissa Pili, man, she's affecting people positively. She is putting it out there that you can achieve whatever it is, no matter where you come from. Whether you have 67 days of darkness, whether you have 9 months of winter where you really can't go outside and do anything, it didn't stop her. So isn't it true? These two stories are just powerful. I'm going to read a quote about both of them. In both stories, they use these key words: stories of resilience, determination, and deep love of the game. Isn't that true? Both of these stories highlight resilience. They face different trials. Do you have that resilience? Do we have that resilience that no matter what happens, what circumstances we may find ourselves in, that we're going to push through? We're going to break through that wall no matter what. Resilience. In so many stories, we see our ladies, our women in women's sports have that resilience because they have to deal with so much that we as men don't have to deal with, especially in athletics. So kudos to you ladies for showing that resilience. And there's so many more stories. It's a beautiful thing to see. And then it even said determination. Well, we know that ladies have determination. Again, the things that they have to fight through, they have to be determined to reach a certain goal at this level. Do you have that determination? Do you have the determination to set a goal and do whatever you have to do to reach that goal? That's what these stories highlight. And then it says the deep love of the game. Now, in this instance, we're both talking about basketball. But do you have a deep love for something? Do you love it enough to put forth your best effort? If you do, then the other two things, the resilience and the dedication and determination, will kick in if you really love it. It'll kick in if the love is there. But I also want to add one more word, and that's support. Because in both cases, they had the support of their family and close friends. Do it all. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good people. Surround yourself with people who don't always think just like you. Maybe they're going to challenge you on some things. That's a good thing. That means they're pushing you to be better. But make sure that the support is there as well. There's a thin line between challenging and someone who's disparaging, or as they say today, hating on what you're doing. But if you can find those few people that are going to support you and you're going to support them, that's going to help you reach whatever goals you have in life. They're going to be there no matter what happens to you, whether it's a physical situation like Aaliyah, or whether it's a mental situation like Alissa, dealing with the elements and things that are out of your control. They're going to be there to support you and help you. And you only need a couple. I think we live in a society where we feel like followers and friends are the same things. We think because we have a few thousand followers that means that they are truly our friends, but in actuality, we only need a few. A couple is all we need to be there for us to lift us up. So examine your circle, examine your friends, examine your circumstances, and see who's truly there for you. And if you have them already, do whatever it takes to hold on to them. Because in life, those are the jewels. The people that will be with you forever and keep you motivated. So, two beautiful stories. What a way to kick off our first Women's Wednesday on a Monday, highlighting two beautiful stories, two resilient and dedicated and strong young ladies. Make sure you check out their stories. Look them up online. Look at some of the things that they truly went through in full totality. And then you'll understand why it was so inspiring to me that I wanted to share it with you. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on them. I'm sure that they'll continue to do big things in life. But in this moment in time, they have truly been an inspiration to so many and just so grateful to be able to share it with you. Well, as always, this was just an episode, right? Like we're talking about sports and life. But never do we want to forget about sports. So tonight, are you excited about tonight? I told you guys in the March Madness episode, I told you that the women's NCAA tournament is more intriguing than the men's. I got to give hats off to NC State men's. The women's side is the most intriguing. Tonight at 7 o'clock, you got the rematch of last year's championship game in Iowa versus LSU. Man, this is going to be a good one. And then the nightcap, 9 o'clock, you got USC, Juju versus UConn. This is to get to the Final Four. This is going to be some fantastic basketball. So I don't know about you, but I don't expect to get a whole lot of sleep tonight because I'm going to be watching every minute of these games, and I hope you do the same thing. So this has been a fantastic episode. I always want to thank you guys for sticking it out with me to just highlight some positivity in our life, right? There's so much negativity that it's good to look at sports from a positive perspective and to look at some of these stories and see how we can learn from them and how sports and life are intertwined. So as I always say, thank you, thank you, thank you for rocking with your boy. It means more than you'll ever know. Make sure that you continue to subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up, and more importantly, as I always say, share it. If you like it, share it. If you don't like it, share it anyways. I want to make the fans' voice the loudest voice that's out there. And the only way that I could do that is with your help. So as I always say, on this Women's Wednesday on Monday, man, stay positive. Don't let anybody dim your shine. Stay dedicated. Man, keep pushing, keep going. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't reach your goals. If you do that, you'll be successful no matter what, especially if you look in the mirror. That's the key. Looking in the mirror is the success. When you know you've done all that you possibly can, that's the best feeling in the world. So keep shining, people. My family, again, can't thank you enough for your support. This has been the Listen Man podcast, the show for the fans, by the fans. Let's go ahead and make the fans' voice, our voices, the loudest voices that's out there. Let's go.